Hello and welcome to Marvel Vision, a Marvel Studios TV show podcast brought to you by Cinema Sangha. My name is Devin Faraci. I'm one of the hosts of the program. Joining me as he traditionally does.
My name is Derek Faraci, and I tried to sing along, but damn that radio song. How are you, Devin?
I'm okay. I drank a Celsius today, the energy drink,
Okay.
and I immediately began nodding off.
It did not work.
Well, it's a not uncommon ADHD experience. When you have caffeine and stuff, it actually makes you sleepy or straightens you out. It's the premise behind Adderall, which is a stimulant. And so it was very funny because I was like, I'm going to get a lot of cleaning done today. I'm going to drink a Celsius and I'm going to be up. And I pounded the Celsius, and then the next thing I knew, I'm like passing out on the couch. So
Wow.
did not work properly.
Wasn't Celsius the one that they ended up finding out they put ones out that had alcohol in them?
That was Four Loko. Well, I mean, they might have had Celsius ones that accidentally had booze in them, but they recalled
Yeah, it was
those,
like it wasn't like on purpose.
Yeah, it might have been that. Yeah, it might have been that. Yeah, so I drank a Celsius, and man, it just put me to sleep almost. So it's kind of crazy. And
Yeah.
but I'm trying to power through this Celsius-induced exhaustion. I'm doing my best, man. Did you go see The Conjuring this weekend?
I did.
I wrote a review of it. I was not a huge fan of it. What was your take?
It's the third best of the 4 Conjuring movies.
So did The Devil Made Me Do It's worse?
Yes, I think so.
Really?
Yeah. I think The Devil Made Me Do It is a very bad movie.
Okay.
It's a really bad movie. I mean, it ends with him fighting a witch, and it's like,
This one ends with them fighting a mirror.
yeah, but at least the mirror is like magical or whatever. The witch is just this lady in like a dungeon for some reason, and it's like, what is happening here? And also, I think part of it is the case from the third one. I've read a lot about, so watching that one, I was like, they're skipping over the good stuff.
They did that in this one too.
Actually interesting. Did they?
Yeah.
I did not know. I don't know anything about this case.
The dad in this case was sexually assaulted by a succubus 11 times.
Will they show that?
They show it one time, but you kind of got to read between the lines of what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not super clear.
It's not as obvious as Ghostbusters, I suppose.
I mean,
but-
this is an R-rated movie, and they could not make it clearer. That's not kind of crazy to me. Also, it happened 11 times in real life. I mean, also, none of this happened, by the way. This one's a straight hoax case. And what's really interesting is that the movie makes it seem like the family went to the media, and then the Warrens got involved. That is not the truth. The Warrens got involved and told them to go to the media.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a straight up hoax case. Very, very significant.
I mean, the biggest hoax, not hoax case, but deviation from the quote unquote truth is the second movie, where in reality the Warren showed up for like half a day
To the Enfield
and then
poltergeist,
left.
yeah.
at the Enfield poltergeist, and then they left, and the movie is like, oh, they fought a demon nun there, and it's like, nope, it did not happen.
Did not, yeah. Do you think we're going to spin off the daughter and Tony Spera, who they did take over the ghost busting business?
I mean, they're definitely, the movie apparently is opening up to like upwards of 80 million, so probably.
Right.
I mean, this is definitely a thing where, if Arthur P. Jacobs was still around, his letter would be, Ghost exists, sequel required, right? Like you don't stop when you have your biggest opening of your series,
Right. Right.
But will they get Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga back?
No, they won't, but they might get them for cameos.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's possible to get them for cameos. But that's why they hired these two new actors. It's 100%. This movie's setting them up to take over.
The movie's setting them up to take over, and the daughter has been part of every one of the movies, and she is the main character in Annabelle Comes Home.
Right.
And so, like, they've been building up her story throughout all of these.
She's a real person.
But they also, yeah, she's a real person as well, Judy. But they also have this begins with like the flashback of them when they're younger, and it's different actors, and I could see them doing something like that where it's like the early cases or whatever,
Yeah, the actors did look pretty good.
They did.
I don't know if they were good actors, but they looked pretty good.
They did.
Yeah, I thought this one was kind of on the boring side, due to the entire first 2/3 of the movie being the Warrens hanging around having a birthday party.
here's the thing, and this is honestly why I think these movies are so successful. Is these movies spend a lot of time with the Warrens just hanging out, being a loving couple, which is apparently not reality.
No,
but
no. No, Ed Warren knocked up a 15-year-old. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yep.
Lorraine Warren convinced her to get an abortion.
Yep. That will not be in one of the movies, I imagine. Yeah. He's like, let's conjure up some sex. And then she's like, let's conjure up an abortion. That's not going to happen. That will not be in these movies. But that has been a big part of it is for the Conjuring specific films, not for like Annabelle and the Nun, but like for these ones, it's it's Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga work so well together, and you believe in their relationship.
Yeah, no, I get that. I've seen all of them. I get it. But the thing is, this movie, there's a whole case happening that these people are not part of until the last 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. That's why it's so boring, because there's like a ghost movie happening, and then there's these people just hanging out, and they're not involved in the case. They don't want to get involved in the case. They're against being involved in the case. And then in the last 20 minutes, it's like two different movies collide. It's like a crossover movie at the end. That, I think, was a big problem for me. I was like, oh, this... Like, I wanted more time with the Warrens and that family and stuff, the Smurls.
Yes. Yeah. Which is what the first movie does really well.
Yeah.
Even though the first movie takes a while to get the Warrens hanging out with the Perron family. And but when they do, you really feel a connection with them. And again, in the second one as well, with the Enfield haunting, there's that whole sequence when Patrick Wilson's like, now I'm going to play an Elvis song. And he sings an Elvis song to everybody. And it's a very nice moment where it's like, oh, they're connecting with this family. And here they kind of do it where they're like, he's making pancakes. And
he's not even in the same room as the family.
He's in the kitchen and the family's all watching TV.
I know, but he gives a big speech about connecting, and do we see him talk to anybody except interviewing them? Like, that's the thing. Like,
he talks to the dad when he says, "Don't drop it,"
and then the dad drops it immediately.
The dad drops it. Yeah. He talks to them a little bit, not too much. There's not enough family back and forth.
But this movie is like Endgame, because every character comes back at the end of this movie.
Yeah, I laughed. I guess spoilers for this movie. I laughed at the wedding scene when, like, at first you see like the mom and one of the daughters from the first movie, and I'm like, all right. I mean, they live in like Rhode Island, and this is Long Island, fine. And then they show like the mom and one of the daughters from the second one who were in England, and it's like, no, they could not afford to come to America for a wedding. We know that. We know they have no money. That's part of the whole story.
Yeah.
That's not working out, But it's nice that all the actors, or some of the actors, show up. Joey King.
And then James Wan shows up.
James Wan's there, but what's his name, who played the dad in the first movie, is not there. I guess he didn't want to come in. But yeah. I enjoyed it more than the third one, for sure. The third one I did not like at all.
I feel like
it was very bad.
I don't remember the third one that well, but I remember thinking it was really weird. And kind of being intrigued by like the weirdness of it with the whole legal stuff. Like, thought that was kind of neat.
But they don't do enough with that. That's my problem with it. Is they don't do enough with that aspect of it. And and it's also hard when Annabelle comes home, is like, oh, Annabelle's released all the spirits in the trophy room, and now we have to fight a samurai and a werewolf. And then the movies after it are like, oh, it's some lady who's a witch, and she hangs out in a dungeon and in a possessed mirror, and it's like, that's not as exciting as a werewolf. Like, you can't come back.
Those movies aren't canon.
They're all part of the Conjuring universe.
I understand that, but they're not canon. They're so clearly not canon.
Is in it? The priest is in it.
It doesn't make a difference. That doesn't mean they're canon. Had they ever mentioned those? Had they ever mentioned those movies, the events of those movies, in the mainline Conjurings? If they haven't, then it's not canon.
I don't know that they have, but I mean, they're all connected to Annabelle. They're all canon.
I get what that, but I think that there's main canon and there's beta canon, and I think those spin-off movies are beta canon. Nothing's going to happen in the Nun 3 that's going to go against whatever happens in one of the Conjuring movies. You know what I mean? Like, and if it does, you just go, okay, this is just not actually.
Oh, no, that is, because in the first Conjuring movie, they're telling a story about a possessed guy that that shattered Lorraine's psyche or whatever, and then you find out he's one of the guys from The Nun. So they are canon.
They're connected, but it's like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Just because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has stuff that is picking up on things from the movies doesn't mean Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon. I actually say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the exact correct thing. That don't expect the regular MCU to ever acknowledge anything in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. happened. However, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will pick up things from the Marvel movies.
I think these are all the same creators. I think it's just one big connected universe, and sometimes they try to act like they're more true story than other ones, but they're all in there.
That was the only movie I saw this week. I did not get to the pictures. Otherwise, that was it. That was my one time. Very, very sad. Very sad week for me for not going to the pictures. But did you see anything else? Was that it?
No, I just saw that this morning.
Okay.
That was my day.
I saw it late at night. I got out of that movie at 2:00 in the morning.
That's too late. I would have fallen asleep.
I mean, it was not great.
Because it is a very slow.
It's
in
a
the beginning.
real fucking slow picture.
Yeah.
But you know what? Once they're physically fighting a mirror, that kind of woke me up. I was like, okay, this is the dumbest shit I've seen in a minute. Like, they are literally physically fighting a mirror right now.
I did have questions, and again, I suppose spoilers. I did have questions when Patrick Wilson had like his third heart attack in 5 minutes, and then just got up and started fighting the mirror. I was like, I think you're dead, man.
Yeah.
I don't think that works out for you.
Yeah. This movie, this is not a spoiler because anybody who's ever looked up the Wikipedia page of the Warrens knows this. Ed Warren died in the 2000s. But this movie really spends a lot of time convincing you Ed Warren's going to die at the end of the movie. Like, it spends a lot of fucking time on that. And, the funniest part of this movie is Lorraine's dream of the future where they're riding a motorcycle through the countryside. It's so fucking stupid. So fucking stupid. All right. Anything else in the real world you want to talk about before we head over to news?
No, I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right. Well, what's our news this week?
Our news is Scott Neustadter and Michael H. Webster are going to rewrite the Dynamic Duo movie, which is set to come out in 2028.
That seems interesting because I thought they were already working on that. And the thing is that it's stop motion, so I don't. How easy is it to rewrite that?
I mean, it's a mix of things, right? Stop motion, CGI, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, but stop motion is harder to reshoot.
I would think so.
You can do like CGI, that takes a while, or even hand drawn, but stop motion takes forever. So I'm kind of curious how much rewriting they can do.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I mean, have they even started production, like filming stuff? Who knows?
I think
I have no clue.
They must have. It's coming out in 2028.
You think so?
I would think they have already begun, but maybe not. I don't know. But I think stop motion picture takes upwards of 2 years at least. So, and then you got to do all your post and shit. So,
yeah, no clue. Mark Ruffalo says that he has not seen a script for Spider-Man: Brand New Day, so he doesn't know if he's in it.
I think I believe that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I do. I think they didn't send him a script. Like, I fully believe that such a thing is true. And I mean, he would have to know if he's going to be going to the UK at some point.
Yeah.
Like, he would have to know that, but...
I mean, when asked if he's going to be in the movie, he said, I don't know, I'm still waiting to hear. I haven't read a script yet.
It's so interesting.
I would imagine if he's telling the truth... he's not in the movie, would be my theory.
Or the other thing is that if they're doing the Savage Hulk, which is what the big rumor is, you just need him to do mocap on a green stage, on a sound stage, on the volume.
You don't think you'd want him on set with everybody?
I mean, you probably would, but like if you don't want to pay for it, you know what I mean? Like if that's the deal.
But he's like right there. He's filming Doomsday, right? So
I mean, that's the thing is that they might just have told him, we're going to have you for these days. And he doesn't know if they're going to shuffle him off over to Spider-Man, which is in a different country. But still, it's right over there. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Who can say? Tom Holland, speaking of Brand New Day, says that he's been actively shifting through the internet trying to figure out what fans want to see in Spider-Man 4. That has been my driving force in these pitch meetings. Tom, please don't do that.
Yes, please stop, Tom. It's very bad. You just told us this is going to be a bad picture. Yeah, you've just let
Yeah.
us know this is going to be a bad movie. Like,
Yeah.
fans don't know what is best for them, and also there's so many voices that there's no way to say what fans want. Like, there's a lot
Yes.
of things that fans want. So unless Tom is listening to me personally, maybe he is. That's fine. Unless
Tom showed
Tom,
up for meetings and he's like, "There's a lot of talk about this Paul guy. I think we should put him in the movie."
the internet can't stop talking about Paul. But yeah, I don't love that much.
No, neither do I. Ryan Reynolds was asked about if he's going to be doing stuff for Doomsday, and he said, or if he's adding anything to Doomsday. And he said, "There's 4 that I've gotten in there. Of course, I've written them all out at home in my PJs, and nobody's seen them, nor have I stepped foot on set. But yeah, that's about as far as I'll go on that one." So it seems like he's not going to be in Doomsday.
We should contextualize it. 4 of them, he means jokes
Easter eggs.
or Easter eggs. Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds was mean to Eugene Levy on a red carpet at TIFF last night.
Really?
Yeah, he was like saying nasty stuff to him, and they called in a lip reader. Nobody knows. They called in a lip reader to because they were like not in front of the mics when this happened, but like you could see it like in the body language. They were having like a thing, and Ryan Reynolds says bullshit, and Eugene Levy says that kind of language is uncalled for. So I'm very curious what was happening, but like you can't be mean to Eugene Levy. That's not allowed.
No,
It's not
Were
allowed.
they arguing over who's like Canada's like favorite son?
I don't know. I don't know. The backlash against Ryan Reynolds is in full swing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think rightfully so.
Who knows?
I mean, come on. I can't listen to a fucking podcast without this asshole talking about his Mint Mobile.
But that's why you just skip over the ads.
I know, but like sometimes I'm not like I'm doing the dishes. I can't skip over the ads. My hands are all wet.
Well.
I'm nowhere near the phone.
Well, sorry. I didn't know it's so hard. So it's a struggle.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, we have gotten an announcement of the Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, with 3 pieces of art by Jim Lee, Jorge Jimenez, and Mitch Gerads. Coming, the movie is coming July 9th, 2027.
So this is what I said on the Discord. I'm going to say it here again. The Man of Tomorrow is Lex Luthor, and it's a Lex Luthor movie. This is my take because he says it's not a Superman sequel, but Superman's in it and stuff like that. My take is that it's a Lex Luthor movie. Every piece of art has Superman and Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is in his green and purple battle suit. Which is obviously a note that Gunn gave to the artists when they drew this. And in 2 of the 3, Lex and Superman appear to be kind of buddies.
I think one of them is questionable.
One's questionable, one they're buddies. Well, I mean, Lex is not happy in any of them. That's like one where like Superman's leaning against Lex and like...
Yeah, there's one, Jim Lee's is Superman is leaning against Lex and Superman's holding a screwdriver and there's screws on the ground.
Right.
So was he helping Lex put the suit together, or is he taking screws out to make it fall apart?
I mean, he's probably taking screws out to fall apart, but I think we're getting a conceptual tone thing. I think I would not be surprised if this is a little bit of a buddy movie where Lex and Superman have to team up for some reason or other. But I do think the Man of Tomorrow of the title is Lex Luthor. I thought for sure that the latest episode of Peacemaker was going to make this clear.
Oh, okay.
Because why would they announce it just right before that episode aired? And Gunn has now said a number of times that Peacemaker Season 2 runs directly into Man of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Which is great because Peacemaker Season 2 is a hard R, and it's going to be the bridge between 2 family-friendly PG-13 films.
But the way he is explained it is like, obviously it's a universe, they're connected, each story affects the next story, but they also all stand on their own. And Superman stood on its own from Peacemaker and Creature Commandos, and thus far Peacemaker stands on its own from Superman.
Yeah, but we
you
know
don't
that
need
they're
to watch Superman to understand Peacemaker.
we know they're bringing in Lex's guys to Peacemaker.
Yes.
And we know that nobody can see the final 3 episodes, and it's quite clear because Superman's in them.
I'm not sure.
I am almost certain because they keep posting behind the scenes photos of like this week David Cornsweet posted a behind the scenes photo of John Cena in his disco clothes,
Yeah.
with him in his Superman outfit.
Yeah,
Now,
but that's what he was wearing in this episode. So that's
no, I
week 3,
understand.
and
But
they
what
were
I think
filming
the
at the same time.
point is that they were they were at the same place at the same time. That's why I'm pretty convinced Superman's going to be in it. This does not require a lot of work. Like they're there, and so you bring. I don't think he's maybe may or may not be a major part of the final 3, but I also think Luthor is going to be in it, and I think that the dimensional portal thing is going to tie into Luthor.
Sure. Yeah, I do think Luthor is going to pop in. I do think that. Superman, I'm less sold on.
I think the way that this season has to end has to be Superman showing up and saying something nice to Peacemaker.
Think so?
Yeah, because this whole season's about him wanting to be accepted as a superhero, and he finds a universe where he is that. Although it seems pretty clear it's a Nazi universe. But I think by the end of the season, Superman's going to have to show up and say something positive. I think that has to be the journey for Peacemaker, that he gets the nice... And the one character who would definitely do that is Superman.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's my big guess. That's my big guess.
Maybe. Who knows?
And I think David Cornsweet actually already revealed that this is happening when he was asked what he would like to see Superman do in another movie, and he says, "I'd love to see him in an R-rated film. I would love to see how he exists in that space." And I think that he's talking about Peacemaker season 2.
Maybe.
So,
who knows? We'll find out in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Within the next 5 weeks, I guess. We'll see. And then finally, we got a Marvel Zombies trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And that exists. It comes out in the middle of Peacemaker.
And it's all dropping all the episodes at once. It looks whatever. I mean, like, it's what it is. Like, it looks like Marvel Zombies. Like, you know, like, there's not like a sense that you might expect Marvel Zombies to be different than what this is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, I think what's really interesting is that obviously this one's really heavily focused on the post-Endgame heroes.
Yeah.
Because it was probably being produced at a time when Marvel was hoping any of these characters were going to take off.
Including Blade, who didn't even get a movie.
Didn't get a movie. Although I like that in Marvel Zombies, Blade is the Fist of Khonshu.
Yeah.
I think that's fun. I think that's really, really fun. So, you know, it's they obviously, because it's not what if anymore, they can go harder, and they really make a point of showing us how much harder they go. And so, you know, that's great. That's great. I mean, it is what it is. It's real edgelord stuff, but I think if you walk into it and go, this is going to be edgelord stuff, like, I think, you know, it's not going to be something different, and it's not for everybody. So I think that's sort of my take on that.
Okay. I think it looks bad.
Well, I mean, obviously, but, like, you know, like, it looks bad, but its core audience is going to appreciate it, I think.
Sure. But I won't, and I have to watch it. So.
Everything's so personal for you.
Yeah, because it's my life. What you know, if we weren't doing this podcast, I just wouldn't watch it, and that would be the end of it. But now I'm gonna have to watch every episode twice.
You don't really have to watch every episode twice. That's self-imposed.
I do, because I want to make sure I give the listeners my full attention. So I watch it once without taking notes. I watch it once taking notes.
You're a good man.
Otherwise, it's going to be mixy.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I am. And what do I get in return? Marvel Zombies.
You're going to get Wonder Man later on this year.
Hopefully that's good.
I mean, I think at the very least, it's going to try to be good, which I think goes a long way sometimes with this stuff. Like, you know, it does. It's not. I don't think it's going to feel like Secret Invasion where they were like, just do something. Which, because that show really is just a disaster, right? I think that at the very least they're going to be trying something, and I think that it may or may not work, but I think that at least it'll be interesting to watch.
I agree.
Is my hope.
I agree.
So
yeah, and Trevor Slattery will be funny.
Trevor Slattery's funny. Yeah, Ed Harris is in it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. We'll see. We just got to get through Marvel Zombies first.
Is that all the news?
That's all I got.
I meant to say something in the opening. I reread New Frontier this week, the Darwin Cook Silver Age DC comic book. And
fantastic story.
And because Gods and Monsters is one of the chapters, and that's what James Gunn has entitled the first chapter of his DCU. And so many people, obviously Gods and Monsters is a reference from Frankenstein for most people. But I think I think Gunn probably is riffing on New Frontier. And so I wanted to take a look at it and try to figure out like what he could be riffing on in this. And I'm going to have the most controversial opinion anyone's ever had about New Frontier. I don't think the climax is good.
No, it's not great.
It's not good. It's like just not good. And I think that the big problem is that the book spends 4 or 5 issues with a bunch of really interesting characters, and then those characters are not very important in the finale. And you're like, wait, why was I not spending more time with Barry Allen if he's going to be the guy at the end of this comic book? Like, I don't.
Well, Barry and Hal Jordan are very important to the ending.
Hal Jordan's important to the ending.
And Barry's running around on the thing.
But we don't spend that much time with Barry in the comic, though. Barry's minimal in the comic. We get a lot of Hal. We get a lot of Hal.
Yeah.
Hal's sort of the main character. I don't feel like Hal is as important as the guy who was the main character should have been, kind of. That's like sort of my take on that. It felt like at the end when he just flies a plane into the thing's brain, I was like, well, this could have been a little more specific because 2 other guys go in and do it with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it isn't like only Hal Jordan could do this. I also forgot about John Henry. And I think I understand thematically why it's included. I cannot tell you narratively why that's in the book. And it feels weird, and it feels maybe like a little misery porn because it has no connection to anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. I think it's a good. Also, it's like he's obviously riffing on Watchmen, because the design is the exact design as Hooded Justice from Watchmen. Yeah. But like, spoilers for a 25-year-old comic. But like, the guy gets killed brutally, and no other character in this comic book cares about civil rights at all. Even John Jones, who does care, sort of just cares in the same way he cares about UFOs. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a driving force, and there's no black characters in the finale. And it's kind of weird as a result. So I kind of was like, this is really weird. Like, reading it, I probably in 2002, this felt probably pretty progressive, and like, wow, he's really drawing attention to how bad this era was and why there are no black heroes in Silver Age DC. But at the same time, within the context of the story, I was like, oh, this feels weird now. I don't love this. And he's playing fast and loose with the canon anyway, so he could have just introduced this guy into the fucking story, you know?
Yeah. My favorite thing about it is how at the end of the book, you can tell Darwin Cook was like, oh shit, I forgot to introduce Aquaman. So he just pops in real quick at the end.
Yes, he's like, oh shit, we did not write this guy here. Yeah. But the first 4 issues of this are the 4 of the best comic books I have. I have read this book before, but not in a very long time. The first 4 issues are 4 of the best comic books I have ever read in my life. Issue 5 is really good. Issue 6, I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's a bummer because you spent all this time developing this thing. Now, is it possible that that's the threat? The center is going to be the threat that is going to unify everybody in James Gunn's DCU, or is the premise more going to be that the government's going to crack down on superheroes, and superheroes are going to have to decide that they're willing to take a stand anyway, even though it might get them in trouble because only they can save the world at the end of his thing?
I think that's what it's more toward.
Yeah,
that's my theory, and I mean, we'll see. But on the topic of New Frontier, a great reading double feature is the Golden Age into New Frontier, because New Frontier is essentially a sequel to the Golden Age,
right?
Which is a great story too, where you get to watch all the superheroes beat the crap out of the Hitler. So that's nice.
That's always nice. That's always very, very nice. But yeah, so I was, again, I think that most people probably don't say I thought that the ending of New Frontier was pretty not good. But I'm willing to go out on a limb and say,
just don't talk about it.
That's the thing. Everybody agrees, but nobody wants to say anything because it's like an iconic piece of literature.
Yeah. The focus is always on like the Wonder Woman scene,
right?
Which is a great
the one
scene.
In Korea.
Yeah, or is it Korea?
It's Korea.
I guess you just read it, so you would know better.
Maybe it is Cambodia. Maybe it is Cambodia. It feels like
wherever it is. She's there and she's partying with all the women, and they just killed all the men. And it's the moment where she stands up and she's taller than Superman.
Yeah,
is like just such a great moment. It's like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's a great touch, you know. And then the whole Martian Manhunter stuff, people really dig into.
It's really good. I mean, it's also so good. It's just very funny, like at the end when you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. It's a big island. It's Krakoa.
Oh man.
Something
I wanted to bring up with the Superman news of Man of Tomorrow.
What's that?
I am concerned that there's too much Superman stuff.
We're going to have a Superman every year.
Yeah, we have Superman this year, Supergirl next year, Superman again the year after that.
Yeah.
And there's not much in between these things.
Yep.
So that seems a little rough.
Yeah.
You know?
It does have a sense that maybe we're going to burn out. Also, I'm really wondering if James Gunn's going to burn out.
Yeah, that's a good question.
He's going hard, plus he has to deal with everything else.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, guy could use a break, maybe. But, I mean, I don't know. He likes to work, I guess. He likes to keep doing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, obviously, if he's been able to do it, but I do wonder if there's going to be some kind of burnout from all of this, you know? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
we'll find out.
we will find out.
And that's it for news.
We got questions?
We do. Tom says, "Hi, guys. Do you think the new Fantastic Four movie has helped highlight some of the reasons that the MCU post-Endgame hasn't been connecting with the audience as much? I'm listening to your Fantastic Four Watchmen episode. It seemed like there were several times where you both noted a line, moment, or character that would have been worse if the movie took place in the 616 MCU. I don't think it's as easy to explain as there was always going to be a contraction after Endgame because No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness were post-Endgame, post-COVID, but each had huge opening weekends. Thanks for all the podcasts and great conversations."
You want to go first?
No, you can go first.
I think the thing is with Fantastic Four is that because it takes place in its own universe, that it has a lot more freedom to do stuff. I think that when you're doing the 17th or 18th or 20th Marvel movie in the MCU, there's a little bit less freedom to do stuff. Not necessarily because of canon, but because of aesthetics and tone and stuff like that. And like you can't make this movie the 60s aspect of this you couldn't do in the MCU. Like you couldn't do it. So I think that's the thing. I don't love the box office on Fantastic Four. It is a bummer. And I don't 100% understand why it did what it did. But, we'll see what happens after the Avengers films, I guess.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with Fantastic Four is that the movie, it's good. It should not have come out in the summer. It's a fall-winter movie.
Yeah.
And I think it would have done better in the fall-winter. I don't think it helps that it was the fourth superhero movie in like 5 months.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem. I think Marvel and DC need to get smarter about scheduling these things, especially having Superman and then 2 weeks later Fantastic Four.
It's so funny. We thought it was going to be the other way around, though.
We did. Yeah. But I think Superman, there were two things that helped Superman. One, it's a good movie, and two, it's a good action-filled movie. It moves. It keeps moving.
It's a summer
Fantastic
picture.
Four
Yeah.
is a slower film.
Yeah.
We had said for quite a few times, like, put Fantastic Four out for Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
And it'd probably do really well.
Yeah, maybe.
And also, I think it was a mistake to put Fantastic Four out before Thunderbolts hit Disney Plus, not because they're interconnected or anything, but because then people would see Thunderbolts and be like, "Oh, this is good. Maybe Marvel's back on track." I think that could help them out.
A lot of people on the internet saying, "Why did nobody tell me to go see Thunderbolts? This is a good movie." We knew that was going to happen. Yeah.
Yep. That happens with every movie, though.
Oh yeah, but it's really. But in this case, this was one we were like, "Oh, we knew this is 100% going to happen because it's 100% a good movie," and so people were just so burned out that they just didn't do it. They didn't go.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just watched it again this week. It was good.
Yeah, it's a good picture.
Still good.
All right, what's our next one?
Jordan Barnes asks, if each of you were to host on MST3K, what are some movies that you'd like to most riff with the bots during your episodes?
Oh, this is easy, and I'm going to take it before you can steal it from me because I discovered it, Black Easter, a.k.a. Assassin 33 AD. That's 100% a dying to be MST'd movie.
Yeah, that was my answer.
I knew it was, but I discovered that movie. You can't have it.
You did. You discovered it.
I can let you have War of the Worlds.
I don't think War of the Worlds would work well.
No?
No, because there's not enough to goof on. I mean, there's a lot going on, but like it's such a flat movie, you know. But
As opposed to the
maybe
many
it'll work.
lively, exciting pictures from the 50s they would do, like
That's true. I mean,
that created the
yeah,
term rock climbing,
yeah.
which is an
But
endless fucking series of people climbing rocks. Yeah,
but the difference is those '50s movies, they would have like long moments, stretches of silence or whatever, where they could riff.
yeah,
Where War of the Worlds, just constantly people talking, even though nothing's being said,
Yeah.
right? Like, and you run into that kind of thing. But I don't know. Yeah, Black Geezer was definitely what I was thinking.
yeah. I knew you. That's why I wanted to go first. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, yeah. Let me think. What else have I seen recently? I don't know.
Oh well.
Transformers movies, maybe? I don't know. I mean, there's plenty. There's plenty to choose from. I mean, I watched a really bad found footage movie the other day. I can't remember what it was called, but that would work. You could always do a couple of found footage movies.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
How much could those cost?
yeah.
Yeah. And then Nick asks, what the F is vibranium? I'm admittedly more of a DC guy, so I don't know the deep comics lore, but I've seen the MCU, and while I get that it absorbs energy, how in hell does it magically make super advanced technology? In Black Panther, Shuri just seems to have to think about what she wants and do, and it does it. Help. If their answer is it's a comic book, don't think about it so hard, I'll accept that. I'm just wondering if there's an in-universe explanation for how a meteor rock can just become a spaceship and an invulnerable suit and microwave and a handsome set of cutlery. P.S. I absolutely appreciate Devin's clever intro song choices, and I'm sure I'm not alone, but even if I am, keep it up.
Well, thank you very much. That's very nice. So here's the deal. Vibranium is it is a meteor rock. It's like a huge, like a mountain of it hit the Earth. And the deal is vibranium, it absorbs energy and it stores energy. And so the vibranium itself is not what actually makes the stuff happen. It's that having access to this material gave the Wakandans sort of a head start on a lot of like ability to create technology. They had all different ways of dealing with energy and stuff like that. And so what you're seeing is not because they had magically get it from vibranium. It's because they got vibranium thousands of years ago, and their entire civilization was sort of started much faster than anybody else's civilization. So
yeah, I've always seen kind of like Fire or The Wheel, where the creation of this led to an explosion of being able to do more things, right?
Right.
So finding vibranium allowed them to increase their knowledge base and grow and evolve.
Yeah.
If you will.
But also there's I guess the deal though also is that because vibranium itself is a radioactive space metal, it has irradiated parts of Wakanda. So like the heart-shaped herb only grows there because of vibranium, and so like some people get superpowers from it. So yeah, that's sort of the deal. There is a vibranium that comes from the Antarctic, and that one actually can liquefy metal.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, the overall concept with Wakanda, my understanding is what Jack Kirby was playing on was the concept of if Europe had never messed with Africa,
Right.
This is what could be.
Right.
And so he's just playing on that concept.
Yeah, and then the idea that they have a resource that everybody wants is sort of part of the deal, and it's a slightly metaphorical, but yeah. So I think that's the deal. So it's not that vibranium does those things; it's that vibranium and its properties gave the Wakandans. Also, they got really rich selling little pieces of it because it is such a rare metal. When they did decide to put some out in the world, they made a lot of money, so they had a real head start on all this stuff. So the deal here is not that that's magic. It's the deal here is they went back in time 1,000 years. Wakandans probably could fly, not themselves individually. But they had flight, So
Yeah. There you go. There are questions.
how can people get their questions answered?
I don't know. I guess they could email them to ask.cinema.sanga@gmail.com, and in the subject line, put what show you want it for, Marvel Vision or Bad Batch. and then ask your question, one question per email. And while we're discussing that, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't be afraid to hit that like button and subscribe button. And there you go.
All right, are you ready to talk about the next episode of Peacemaker?
I am.
Let's do it. Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3, Another Rick Up My Sleeve. How did you take the opening before it was revealed what was happening? Did you think this was the alternate Earth? Because I did.
No, I didn't.
Really? Why did you not think that?
I don't know. I didn't. I mean, part of it is as they're talking, she says you have to go to Corto Maltese.
That's at the end of the thing, though. That's at the end of that sequence. When it first opens and she's getting out of bed and it reveals that Rick Flag Jr.'s in bed, I was like, oh, this must be because she's dating the Jarhead, and we all assumed the Jarhead was Rick Flag
But it says
Jr.
3 years earlier.
Does it?
Yes, at the beginning when it's doing the establishing shot, it says 3 years ago, 3 years earlier. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it said 3 years later when it came back from that, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was the alternate universe, but it's not. It's Rick Flag Jr. and Harcourt. They had sex right before he went to Corto Maltese and was killed by the Peacemaker. And she says to him, "You're my only friend in the whole world." And this clearly indicates why she had a lot of issues with Peacemaker in season 1, and it also indicates why her hooking up with Peacemaker in between seasons is such a big deal.
Yes.
So that's a pretty big reveal.
To be clear, on the Peacemaker podcast, Gunn and I can't think of her name, the actress.
Jennifer Holland
discussed how when they were making season 1, James Gunn explained to her, like, by the way, you were banging Rick Flag Jr., and so that's why you're so angry at him. Like, it's never mentioned in the story, but that's where I was coming from writing the script. So they had planned that out early in advance.
Right.
Which is nice.
What's
wild
nice.
is that in that flashback, he says he's with June, which would be June Moon, the Enchantress, which means David Ayer's Suicide Squad is canon.
No, it doesn't.
Or at least parts of it are. A segment of it is.
It doesn't mean that at all.
That's what it means.
It just doesn't, because she loses her powers at the end. He takes them away from her. So
yes, that's why
she has powers. But all we know is that June Moon, the Enchantress, exists, and then at some point Rick Flag Jr. came into contact with her and met her, and they're dating. That's all that we know.
What happens in the David Ayer Suicide Squad.
But I'm saying again, though, because that ended so differently.
Yes.
That it's, anyway, so I don't think, the thing is that I think this is going to be one of these fucking bits where people on the internet are going to be really deeply confused and like going on and on about it, and they're going to want to know which minutes of Suicide Squad are
exactly
actually canon.
Which frames.
So that's how we open the episode. We then find Peacemaker passed out on Alt Peacemaker's bed, and his brother wakes him up, and his brother's very concerned. He's like, dude, like, what's up, man? Like, you drinking again? Like,
there's blood in the library.
There's blood in the library. And he's like, we have a library? I like that. You know what? I'm kind of intrigued. The whole, like, I'm in an alternate universe and people say things to me that are surprising and I don't know how to respond. I'm like half and half about that most times in movies and TV.
Sure.
Because I'm always like, I think I could do better than this. Like, I think I could lie better. And that part of that is because in my old career, when I was doing a lot of like coverage of like movies and going to parties and stuff like that, you'd be introduced to somebody who had a movie and you didn't want to say I never saw it or I didn't like it. So you got really good at like, and they go like, oh, this is so-and-so, he directed this, and I go, wow, that's such a good picture, and I have no idea what it is, right? Because you don't want to have a fucking thing, right? This is a guy, you're going to meet him for 2 seconds. So I feel like if I ended up in an alternate universe, I think I'd do real fucking well. I think so? I do. Yeah, I do think. And I would be very careful about just saying stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I would do fantastic.
Because you don't talk to anybody.
Well, I don't talk to anybody, and the references I make in this reality, most people
nobody
don't
gets.
understand.
Yeah.
So they would just be in that reality, be like, he's still the same guy. He's just making references of things nobody else knows about.
Yeah.
So it would work out.
Oh, man. So we have a bit of that in this, and but I think Peacemaker's just dumb enough, and also he's badly hungover, that I'm like he gets better with it as the episode goes on. Like he kind of figures out how to play off that he's the Alt Peacemaker.
Yeah.
It's like a little less, here he's a little bit groggy and stuff. And so we have him getting up. His brother is making him breakfast. It's all so sweet. It's just the sweetest shit you could ever see. And he has never experienced this. Like he's never had people be this nice to him, and he is just feeling really good about it. And he decides he then goes to go to the bathroom and does one of those morning after pisses that go on forever, and he sees that Harcourt had actually texted him back last night, and she wants to meet him at noon at work, and it is 11:30 a.m.
Yep.
And she's like, don't be late. And so he is standing there yelling at his dick to piss faster.
Pee faster, which I greatly appreciate. As I've had moments in my life where I'm like, you need to pee faster. We gotta go. We're running late. Yes.
So we have that. He goes downstairs, and his brother is making eggs, but he has no time to get it. He does. This is what. See, the reason why I think some of this stuff with the alternate universe stuff I think really works is because Gunn writes it really funny.
Yeah.
Where he's like, pop quiz, where does Amelia Harcourt work?
Well, first he does the Kardashian joke.
Yes, he does. Well, yeah, and then the brother's like, so the thing is that's not 100% indicative of that you're in an alternate universe just yet. It just means that you're talking to somebody who maybe has zero pop culture knowledge.
Oh, I mean, if you look on Reddit, that's definitive proof that it's a white supremacist reality.
I think that it actually can point to that, because I think that what made the Kardashians famous was their dad doing OJ, and I think maybe OJ doesn't exist in a...
Well, that's not what made the Kardashians famous. What made the Kardashians famous was Kim Kardashian made a sex tape with a guy.
Yeah, but he got so rich to, and well, I mean, I guess that is, yeah, I guess that really actually is. So, but I do believe this is a Nazi universe. When they are in town, there's no people of color.
I'm aware, but having watched the episode twice, I also noticed that in the regular universe, except for characters that have lines, there's no people of color.
Yeah, but they still exist, and like the task force that shows up at the end of the episode has people of color in it.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know what I mean? Like, they exist. They don't exist here at all. They're just not at all. There's not a single person in the background. And it seems to me like in the year 2025, you're doing backgrounds and you're making sure if everybody's white, you're doing that potentially on purpose, especially if you're shooting in the Atlanta area.
I don't disagree, but there's a part of me that feels like it's going to be too simplistic of a choice for him. If his choice is stay in a world where his brother and father are alive and they're nice to him, but they're white supremacists, or go to the world where his friends are and they're the ones who really know him and whatnot.
The thing is that here's my guess, okay? And this one piece of this guess comes from looking at the promo stuff, like the beginning, like the initial trailer for the season. And there's a clip in the initial trailer where Leota's like, we have to go get him back. And so that means that she's going to come to this universe. And I think that if she shows up in the universe where all the people of color have been wiped out or whatever, that's really dramatically interesting, right? That's super dramatically interesting. I agree. But I think the other piece of it is that it is an easier choice for him to make. But also, I wonder, like, a couple of things. One is if they don't let him go, like once they find out that he killed their Peacemaker. Yeah. Two, does he? My other big theory, by the way, is that Peacemaker was working with the Sons of Liberty.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
He keeps disappearing. They made so many fucking references to the fact that he keeps disappearing.
He also has like a pill problem.
Yeah. But maybe he has a pill problem, but I wonder how much of that pill problem is cover. And you can have a pill problem and still be a terrorist. I mean, there's no reason that you couldn't do both. Yeah. But so I think that it's possible that he was the Sons of Liberty, and that when our Peacemaker finds that out, that actually makes it, do I stay here and I can be a real hero? You know, that's another interesting potential wrinkle. Because I wasn't so sure that maybe he was with the Sons of Liberty. But this episode, like, I feel like the brother says twice, you disappear all the time. Yeah. Or you disappear even more than usual now. And there's something. And because we're never going to meet the other Peacemaker to tell us why he's been disappearing so much, there has to be another character who's going to tell us. Because Gunn has mentioned it too many times.
Yes,
for
I
it
agree.
not to be a thing. So that's my other take, is that he is actually, with the Sons of Liberty in this universe. Anyway, he wants to go. He has to find out where Amelia works, and then he asks the brother if he can use his truck, and he's like, "Why don't you just fucking take the peace cycle?"
My favorite part of this though is when they're doing the trivia game, and his brother's like I don't understand this game, and he goes, and Peacemaker goes,
don't
I
make
don't
the
know, I
rules.
didn't make the rules.
He's like, "Oh, I think you definitely made the rules."
That made me laugh so very hard. I love it.
Oh man, it's really really good.
That was one of the two big laughs in this episode for me, or three big laughs. There's three big laughs for me.
This show has definitely picked up from the misery stuff. I think there's less misery in this episode than there was in the previous two. This is definitely kind of off to the races in a big way. So he finds the peace cycle, which is obviously based on Captain America's 1970s motorcycle, quite clearly. And he goes off and discovers that Peacemaker in this universe is super fucking beloved. People are lining the streets, cheering him on.
The
He
kid
stops
starts
at
crying.
He starts crying, and that bothers him.
That's
But
number
it's-
two. That was the second big laugh for me.
Yeah, but it's okay because there's another car and a lady flashes her tits, and he goes, "Best dimension ever,"
Yeah.
which I really, really
But
love.
that kid crying, like, I could not stop laughing at that when the kid's just like, I love you, Peacemaker. And he's like, all right, it's a little much.
It's a little much.
That made me laugh so hard.
Yeah, I thought that was really fucking great. I gotta tell you, man, I fucking absolutely adored that. So I don't remember the exact order that these things happen. There's very few cutaways back to the other universe. We're still
Here we come back to the other universe.
We do
can
now?
them- yeah.
Okay, let's just do it because I love this first cut back to the other universe.
Okay, yeah,
where everybody's waking up hungover except for Harcourt, who is awake and just grinding coffee. But it's just a great vigilante sequence. It's just a great vigilante sequence. He comes in, he has all his crow facts. And
He starts off by saying he and Peacemaker know everything about each other, even their darkest secrets, like how he likes spiders.
Spiders. He goes, I know it's ghoulish that I like spiders. And they're like, how many people have you killed? He goes, I don't know. What's a shit ton? But why are you changing the topic?
He's like, are you guys on the crow train? That's great.
Crow train. Absolutely fucking loved it. I cannot get enough Adrian. And I like that he's so annoying and that the only way they can get him to leave is to say, hey, Economos is sleeping in the bathtub. I'm worried that he might choke on his own vomit. And he's like, why didn't you tell me right away? He runs off. And then we hear in the other room him sticking his fingers down Economos' throat to check for vomit, which is very fucking funny. Leota knows that something happened between Chris and Harcourt, and she's trying to get it out of Harcourt. Harcourt is sort of like not really super interested in talking about it.
Yes.
And so that seems to be, the thing. In the other room, Economos gets called in to work. He has to go into work. He gets yelled at for not telling everybody that there was a trained killer duck.
A meta duck.
A meta duck. And he's like, it's not a duck, it's an eagle. And like, well, you didn't warn us. It's like, it's in his file. Did you read his file? I kind of love that. And so they have to call him in because now things are getting pretty serious because the duck fucked everybody up so badly. You almost got titties killed.
Yes.
So back in the other universe, Peacemaker goes to Argus, and he checks in at downstairs. The security guy loves him, and we have a bit where they have to do a retinal scan, and Peacemaker's not really sure if it's going to go, but it actually does. It does work very well for him.
We also get what appears to be a character reference.
Yeah, what's that?
The security guard says, how did Mr. Grant's tests turn out? Mr. Grant, first thought would be Ted Grant, Wildcat, who teaches heroes how to fight.
Interesting.
Yes.
I was wondering what that was reference to because Peacemaker doesn't know what to answer. He goes, very positive. And the guy's like, oh no, we were hoping it wasn't cancer. It's so fucking funny. So he goes upstairs and he sees that Harcourt's talking to somebody and he's kind of waiting. And he's got his disco clothes on, by the way, which is all that there is in the closet. Like this Peacemaker dresses really like a really weird ass dandy.
He also chooses to put on the leather pants, though. Let's be.
He does choose. Well,
clear
I
on
think
that.
it has to go with the shirt. I mean, the leather
I
pants go
guess.
with the
I
shirt.
don't know. And he puts on the gold chain,
Yeah.
so he's kind of feeling it.
Well, it is himself. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he is feeling it. This is maybe part of how he'd like to be. And then Rick Flag Jr. shows up. And this is the part, I think, that is really good alternate universe stuff, because it's like, holy shit, I killed this guy. He's standing right in front of me. And I think that also Peacemaker recovers pretty well, all told. And he perhaps recovers pretty well because this Rick Flag Jr. is not the same Rick Flag Jr. from our universe.
No, this was a real goofball.
He's a total dork, and he's like, so what are you doing here? There's something I should know about for work? And Harcourt comes over and goes, no, it's personal. Peacemaker wanted to talk, and Rick Flag Jr. is like not that psyched about it. No. This is where we discover that the Smith boys have been calling him Jarhead, and she's like, he's in the army. Jarheads are Marines. I thought that was really fucking great.
That was good.
So fucking good.
That was really good.
So they're going to go off and have a talk, but not before Rick Flag Jr. is sneaking around.
Well, first they look at, he's in the cubicle and he's got 2 phones to his head, which made me laugh very much.
And then he kicks over a garbage can and like goes, I told you not to put that garbage can over there. Big problem. Big problem. Very fucking funny. He's very goofy. On the podcast that James Gunn does, they said 6 times, I wish you were in this more. That feels like they're telling us that he's in it more.
I refuse to believe this is the only time. To introduce him in this world, there is only one thing to do now. Peacemaker must save that version of Rick Flag Jr. at some point.
I would agree.
To redeem himself for killing the other Rick Flag.
I would totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah. And also I feel like if Harcourt's going to come to this dimension or they're going to cross over to our dimension, having Rick Flag Jr. run into her, I think is also dramatically interesting.
Well, also Rick Flag Sr. is definitely going to meet this version.
Has to, right? Yeah, has to, right? Like it seems like it has to. I can't imagine this is the only. It's really worth pointing out that on the podcast, Joel Kinnaman is using his accent, and it is like he's doing a bit.
I thought he was at first. I really
well, because he goes, I don't have much of an accent.
I don't have an accent anymore. And
like, are you fucking kidding me? Listen to this guy.
I'm like, hold on. Am I going crazy?
This guy is like, he's like a character from like, hey, I'm Mr. Munson. I'm here on Little House on the Prairie. I am selling you pastries. Like, it's crazy. That's the worst fucking Swedish accent anybody's ever done. Yes, he's going, oh, borka, 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 borka. So I was like, what are you guys saying? He has no accent. This is fucking insane accent that he has here right now.
Yeah.
Harcourt and Peacemaker go out on to the town, and they go get. First, they pass underneath this giant mural of the top trio, and we get a good look at them in their suits and everything. And they go get a hot dog, and we get like cute rom-com stuff, like where she puts too much mustard on the hot dog, and he's like, "Hey, you got a straw for this?" And then we have like a little montagey thing of them like hanging out and laughing and like having a nice time.
She's petting a dog, and
it's all sweet. And then they're sitting on a bench, and they're going to talk now. And the deal is that obviously this universe's Peacemaker cheated on her a bunch. And this Harcourt is a very together person. She is not the angry alcoholic that is in our universe.
No.
She's not dark. She's very bright and funny and sweet. She busts his balls at one point and apologizes for busting his balls. And
it's also like the least ball busting.
The least ball busting thing. Yeah. So we really get a real sense. And I think the other thing that I think is really interesting is that for Peacemaker, he loves Harcourt, but like now he's meeting the nice version of her. Like there's like a sense that he's like, oh shit, this universe only keeps getting better. Like Harcourt's nice here. Like
nice, and she's clearly into me.
She's super into me. Like I broke her heart. Yeah. Which he also did in the other universe, but he does not know it yet. He does not know that he killed her best friend. So they're having this moment, and they're talking, and she's like, I need to know that you wouldn't, fuck around on me again. He's like, I'm a different guy, which is like, yeah, you definitely are a different guy. That's for sure. And then we see some people kind of running across the lawn in front of them, and a guy trips and falls, and then he blows up, and there's a huge explosion and body parts everywhere.
And then the lady turns around and goes, Jerry.
And it turns out these are the Sons of Liberty, which is a terrorist group that are fighting against the government, who they claim is oppressive.
Yes.
And they
Now
have
they're
been,
from the comics.
yeah, they're from the comics,
To be
but they're not
fair,
the same
yeah.
people by any
No,
means.
no, they seem to be very different. Although they very similar thing. They were well, not too similar because in the comics they're ultra patriotic paramilitary group that wanted
Yeah.
to bring America back to make America great again,
Yeah,
essentially.
that's what they
Yeah.
were. Yeah, the Sons of Liberty, by the way, are also real in the real world. The Sons of Liberty, pre-Declaration of Independence, that was sort of the group that the Revolutionary Fathers belonged to. Many of them.
Yeah.
So they published things and then they took actions as the Sons of Liberty. So that's why people name things that, because that is baked into the founding of the nation.
Yeah.
So it turns out they've been hitting government buildings. A different one every day, I think. Right? Is it every
I
day?
think it's every week.
Every week, once a week.
Yeah.
And we know that the last one that they did, they blew up the whole block. They just vaporized a whole city block. And
Yeah.
so they go in. It's the DMV. I kind of love that it's the DMV, by the
I
way.
can't
Like,
remember what they said the previous week was, but it was another like very mundane
Yeah.
government, and it felt like my theory is that Gunn is playing on the Oklahoma City bombing, where it was a very mundane government building that was attacked.
well, I will say this: if I were interested in blowing up, I should not even say this because the world we live in right now. But if a fictional person were interested in blowing up government buildings, post offices and DMVs and shit are the softest targets.
Yeah.
So like those are the easiest to hit. The more stuff that's going on in these buildings, the harder a target they are.
Yeah.
And so if you're just interested in blowing up one a week, that makes a ton of sense. I do think that it's supposed to also be funny, by the way. I think that the fact that it is so mundane that they're going to go blow up a fucking DMV, and also everybody hates the DMV. So like, there's like a lot of layers of why this is funny. I think it's important to note here. I'm going to say this right now. They evacuate the building.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
They evacuate the building. They keep one hostage.
Yeah.
This I
Well, they
think
kill a
adds.
guy. They kill a security guard.
They kill a security guard, yeah. But I think that this adds fuel to the theory that this is more of a Nazi Earth, and I think that Gunn did this already in the Suicide Squad, where Peacemaker just fucking slaughters 20 guys and then discovers they're the good guys.
Yeah.
Would he repeat that beat? I don't know. But it's interesting because bad guys would not, like, if you're letting us know these guys are bad guys, they don't empty the DMV.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's a really interesting point, especially because we know that Peacemaker is going to, spoilers, save the building. So, like, within that context, I think it's kind of fascinating that that was chosen to be a thing that happens.
Yeah.
And I don't think that this show is against the idea of Peacemaker killing guys in front of terrified civilians who get covered in gore. I think that Gunn would enjoy doing that.
Very
I
much
think.
so. Yeah.
So Harcourt basically gives exposition here about who the Sons of Liberty are and what they're doing, which seems funny because you would think that that's like, it's Al Qaeda. They blew up the World Trade Center and now they just keep going after American targets. It seems like that he would probably know. But he decides he's got to go do something about it because the guy from Sons of Liberty is hanging out the window with the DMV employee. He's got a knife to her neck. He says, I'm going to come in close. I'm going to fucking kill her. That whole kind of shit. And the bomb squad comes in. All these guys come in. And then Peacemaker decides to go into a pet store next door. And we have a moment where the pet store guy is packing up all the pets because he knows that the last time they blew up a whole block and he doesn't want his pets vaporized. And so Peacemaker goes through there to get on the roof. And then he runs across the roof. We get the Mighty Crabjoys again, don't we?
Yep.
I'm a little tired of them.
Are you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's a little much. I mean, give me another band.
Yes.
Give me another
I
band.
disagree.
You know what I mean? Like, there's one band in this universe. Maybe there is only one band in this Nazi universe. Also, if this is a Nazi universe,
Well, no, we know there's other bands because in his room he's got all the band posters.
But would this indicate that the Mighty Crabjoys are Nazis? If this is a Nazi universe?
Again, I'm not sold on it.
You don't think this is Earth X?
I actually,
Which isn't
I
Earth,
would-
right? That isn't
that
Earth,
is
right?
Earth,
Earth X.
yes.
Tell us what
Where,
Earth X's deal is.
Earth X is a Earth where World War II never ends. It continuously goes on, and that's Uncle Sam and the Freedom Fighters, and there's a lot of Nazi stuff there. I have a different theory on what's happening.
What do you think's happening?
I believe that on this Earth, Peacemaker and his gang, the 11th Street Kids, never stopped the butterfly invasion. That's my theory.
Huh.
And so not everyone is a butterfly, but the butterflies are controlling the world. And the Sons of Liberty are trying to stop that.
I hope that's not the case.
Yeah?
Because one of the things I don't like is when you have a season like that, first season, like where it's kind of close-ended, like they solve the problem, and then the next season you bring that problem back in some way, or you make it like part of the deal. I don't like that. I like the idea that we're doing different storylines, that there's connection.
I don't disagree, but I also, I mean, his father being a white supremacist was part of last season, so we are bringing that back in a way if it's a Nazi white supremacist world.
Yeah, I agree, but I think the white supremacist stuff is politically relevant, especially when he was writing this.
Yeah.
So that's the other piece that I'm kind of curious if he's going to be doing political commentary with this. The other things that in this world, then you would think that maybe Peacemaker is or would not be a butterfly because the butterfly didn't come out of his mouth when he died.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is not everyone is a butterfly. I'm saying like.
Why would they not make Peacemaker a butterfly? Since Peacemaker is a superhero that's trusted and beloved by everybody, why would the butterflies not put a butterfly in him?
Because Peacemaker just follows government laws, so there's no need to.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but you know.
Well, I hope it's not.
Because I struggle with the concept that we're going to hit a thing where it's like, oh, this is the world that Peacemaker wishes he could live in, but actually they're all white supremacists and he's got to kill his brother and father again. And it's like,
but I think the thing is that I think that we're going to be done with him wishing he could live there by next episode. That's, I think, the thing. I think that we're not going to stretch this out the whole season. I think that what's going to happen is that he's going to see the universe where
I
he's
don't think
really
he's
great.
going back next episode. I think
goes back,
next episode he gets
is all
captured
on Earth.
by
So then maybe episode 5 then. Maybe episode 5 then. But I think that the way that it's going to work, is my guess, is that he's going to discover that the universe where everything is great for him is horrible for everybody else. Yeah. And that this and because his journey is becoming a hero, that's going to be a no-brainer for him. So I think that's the thing. I think I think it has to be a horrible universe because I think it has to be kind of a very heroic move to say this would benefit me, but it's bad for everybody else, but I'm going to not benefit myself. I'm going to instead, you know what I mean? Like, I think, anyway.
But it'd be bad for everyone else if he knows that it's bad for everyone and he leaves and just goes back to his regular universe.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm wondering if that universe Peacemaker is a Son of Liberty. He discovers that, and then that's going to be the finale of the season, is going to be him taking that shit down as a Son of Liberty. And then if that happens, then having Superman show up and be like, hey, listen, nobody's ever going to know you did that, but I know, and I think that was really incredible. You saved a whole universe.
Yeah.
Like, I think that could be like a really big moment. You know what I mean? Because you can't have Peacemaker at the end of this season be a superhero because it just doesn't work. Like,
no, he's always got to be the joke guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that premise that, Superman finds out from Argus or whatever that that Peacemaker did this and then shows up to give him the pat on the back and go, yeah, you're one of us. Nobody will ever know, but you're one of us. I think that is very satisfying dramatically. So we'll see. Anyway, he goes in and we have an extended kill sequence of Peacemaker against the terrorists. The best kill.
Great scene.
It's really great. Greg Mottola killed this. The two best kills is the pencils, where Peacemaker hangs down from the ceiling and shows pencils in the guy's ears. And then
although I will say, whoever put the pencils in that cup that Peacemaker gets them from needs to do a better job. You don't put pencils sharp side up in a cup like that. That's very dangerous.
People do it all the time, though.
It's very dangerous.
It is very dangerous, and this is why.
I say that as a guy who still has a piece of pencil in his hand. So.
But the best kill, though, is when Peacemaker blows through a door and puts an axe in a guy's head, and
the guy goes, "Wait, what happened?"
It's really good. Yeah. It's really fucking good.
I like how the Peacemaker podcast that they call him the poor emaciated man.
Yes.
Yes.
But I like that. That's my favorite kind of like getting an axe in the head bit, is that like your brain is still working a little bit and you're like,
Yeah,
wait,
it's
what's
trying to figure it
happening
out.
right here? Yeah, I think that's really, really terrific. But he kills the shit out of everybody. Just fuck. And he fucks them up with different weapons too, not just guns.
Yeah,
He is
he kills the guy with a copy machine.
the copy machine. Yeah, it's pretty fucking, it rules pretty fucking hard. And then he has to go deal with the bomb. And I kind of love this, that there's just 3 wires and he just pulls them out.
But what I love is he pulls out the wires, but looking at the bomb, there's an easier way to turn it off.
There's a thumbs down.
There's a thumbs up and a thumbs down button. Just hit the thumbs down button and it probably stops it. Would be the
Or
thing.
maybe thumbs up adds time, so you can just keep adding time to the timer.
Anytime.
But I like that, like, you know, in most bomb things, like, you have to, like, don't pull
Cut
that
the
wire.
red, yeah.
Like, he just, like, pulls it out, and, like, he just randomly pulls it out. I fucking love that. I thought it was really great. I thought it was really delightful.
Yeah.
And the day is saved. Now, upstairs above the building, there's a helicopter that's come in, and that's the Sons of Liberty backup. They're coming to take their guys out of the building, and however, they're all dead. So they're gonna fly away, but then all of a sudden, was it Captain Awesome? What's his name?
Captain Terrific.
Captain Terrific comes.
Or Captain Triumph. I'm sorry, Captain
So
Triumph.
I was watching this episode and I was like, is the big reveal going to be that Peacemaker's going to come out splattered in blood and everybody's going to be horrified? That like superheroes, that Peacemaker and his family don't kill in this universe? But that is obviously not the case, because Captain Triumph flies through the helicopter, blows it up, and has the debris crash in the middle of the street with
almost
no
hits
concern.
people.
Yeah, no concern of what's happening. And he comes down and he gives Peacemaker the old pat on the back, like, "Hey,
Yes.
good work, buddy. Like, we're
He says,
very."
"Did you stop the bomb?" He says, "I did." He's like, "Crisper."
Yeah, I thought that was really great. I mean, that's really, really, really good. And Harcourt's really impressed.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, he's really doing it. He's kicking ass in
He's
this universe.
cheering him. He's pretty happy.
Meanwhile, in our universe, we end up with Economos going back to work, and basically they've brought in Michael Rooker to kill Eagly.
But first they argue over whether or not he told them about Eagly.
Yes, the Eagly. Yeah,
And Flurry continues to say that he told him it was a duck that was in there, and then that Economos did this as a joke. To which Flurry says, "Trying to use my disability against me? Is it funny? Yeah, very. But you almost got titties killed."
so good. So good.
So good.
So they brought in Michael Rooker to kill Eagly. He's the greatest eagle hunter in the world, and he's going to kill Eagly and every other eagle in the vicinity. And so they.
Economos is like, "Who hunts eagles?"
Yeah, and he says what universe is it legal to hunt eagles? I feel like I guess it's bald eagles that it's not legal to hunt, I guess.
I don't think any eagles. I don't know.
No eagles at all?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have no idea.
Huh. I'm not really sure what yeah, that's interesting. I actually don't know what the deal is here. Interesting. So they're walking to the van where they're going to go load everybody up to go to Peacemaker's house. And Bordeaux is like, and Economos is like, "I don't want to work with this. I refuse to fucking work with this guy." And Bordeaux's like, "Okay, you're fired." And he's like, "Okay, I'll work with this guy."
Yeah.
And then they get to the van and she goes, "It's time for you to meet the other member of your team." And they open the door and it's fucking Judo Master eating a hot Cheeto. And he goes,
Jagger.
hello, fatty. Fucking love this guy so much. Like,
I knew he was coming back. Obviously, he was in the trailer and whatnot, but it was great to see him pop in.
he's so great. And
Yeah.
this actor is amazing.
Yes.
Like, the way that he delivers his lines is incredible. Like,
Yes.
every line he delivers is fucking hilarious as hell.
Yes.
I absolutely fucking loved it. So the whole team with Rick Flag Sr. in charge goes down to Peacemaker's house. And as they're bearing down on the house, we see that Peacemaker is coming back to this universe. And he's coming through the door.
First, Peacemaker has a long talk with his brother, with Keith.
Right.
Where they
He's like,
discuss,
"I'm happy. I missed you, man."
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, I missed you, and his brother is like, you've been acting weird. This is the second time he says it in the episode. It's like, "You keep disappearing. Is everything okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, everything's fine." And they're having a drink, and his brother's like, "I love you. You'll always be my brother, no matter what you're doing."
Yes.
You know.
That also, I think, indicates Sons of Liberty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because that's going to be Captain Triumph is going to have to realize that his brother is betraying him by being Son of Liberty. That's like a really, obviously on one level, it's like, I'll love you even though you killed yourself.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's going to be the vibe. I think it's going to be that he thinks that his brother is, or he discovers that his brother is Son of Liberty.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that's setting up, if I had to guess. But I mean, I could be wrong,
Yeah.
It feels satisfying, doesn't it, that this universe's Peacemaker will be a Son of Liberty?
It does. I mean, it's interesting, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously, Sons of Liberty are not just a one and done thing in this.
No, they're obviously going to be the rest of this. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's definitely many little things. I mean, the internet has been shockingly picking it apart, trying to figure out things that suggest a white supremacist America in the show. And like one of the things is the mural of Peacemaker, Captain Triumph, and Blue Dragon. There's 14 stars, right? So that's something there, the 14. And then my favorite theory that I've seen, because I think it's amazingly stupid, is that when Peacemaker in that universe says to Harcourt, "What's happening?" Harcourt seems confused, and they're like, "Because that show doesn't exist. What's happening doesn't exist in that universe." So they wouldn't understand what "what's happening" means. I was like, I'm pretty sure they would understand what the words "what's happening" means.
I don't think that would make sense.
No, it's insane. That's insane.
For the folks at home who are lucky enough not to know why 14 stars is meaningful, it's because it's a thing called the 14 words. It is David Lane, who was a domestic terrorist and white supremacist, and he has a slogan, and the slogan is, "We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children." And that's 14 words. So when somebody says out loud the 14 words, he was in the order. Did you watch that movie with Jude Law?
No.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's real good. It's a real good movie. Yeah, it's like excellent. And it's like not like
the guy himself is not in the movie. Somebody plays him, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, because all you said was he was in the order.
Well, yeah, the order.
Well, it sounded like Jude Law's making movies with white supremacists.
No, he's not what's happening. No, Jude Law is playing a FBI agent who gets this shitty assignment in the middle of nowhere, and then discovers that there's a white supremacist militia building up right down the road, and it's that story. It's real terrific. It's not like one of the great movies of all time. It's like one of those movies that's like really fucking solid, and you watch it and you go, that was a good movie. Like, it's not my favorite movie. I may not watch it again, but it's fucking solid, and those are rare. Those are quite rare, I feel like, ones that are just solid movies. I recommend it. If you have free time the rest of the weekend, I strongly recommend watching The Order. It's actually very pretty, too, because it's all in the PNW, and there's some pretty good, like, crime stuff and
this is Peacemaker also takes place in the Pacific Northwest, and they did nothing to make it look like that.
It looks like Atlanta.
It looks like Atlanta. Yeah.
So then after that he goes home, and then we see that the next episode's going to obviously begin with those guys showing up at his door, and there's going to be something that happens.
Yes.
So that's the end of the episode. What'd you think of this one this week?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great episode. The opening, not so much Rick Flag Jr. showing up, but when he said that he's with June, it shocked me. That just shocked. I was like, what a weird thing to carry over from the previous universe. Like, because it's not necessary. You don't need it, But he decided to bring it over, and I'm interested to see where that goes. And I guess, and also that the Enchantress is still around. It's very interesting.
I'm going to say something really weird, which is that I suspect that it's easier to accept him cheating on somebody if she's a witch than if she's just a lady.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's more soap opera-y if they're all on the same playing field, as opposed to he has a civilian wife at home that he's cheating on. Do you know?
I don't disagree, but he also does not need to be cheating on anyone in this sequence.
No, he does, because they can't be together. That's, like, I think, important that they are not together. They can't be together.
But I think that's covered. You can cover that in the sequence where she's like, well, we're just friends. And he's like, that's ruined now. Like, what we did, that doesn't work anymore.
Right.
And so that it gives the feeling I got from this was the first time they slept together.
Yeah, it could be.
And And now he goes off and gets killed by Peacemaker.
Goes off and gets killed by Peacemaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot too. Really good action in this one. I love that. I also love the post credit sequence where we discover that Adrian takes off Economos' pants because he washes them and folds them. It's like so weird. It's like, but he gives a little kiss on his forehead after he pulls his pants off. Yeah. Adrian's my favorite character on this show.
Oh, he's
and
great.
I
Big
kind
talk
of
on whether or not Martians only have one eye.
Yes.
Or if Adrian's wrong.
Yes. I absolutely love him, and I wish he was in more of the episode. But I think that alt universe stuff was pretty good, though. Although, honestly, like, I do wish that Peacemaker had, like, gone to the internet and been like, all right,
what's going on?
What's the deal here? Like, let me find out what the deal is.
Yeah.
Who's the president? Like, all that kind of shit.
Yeah. I do hope that Adrian ends up in that universe at some point and we get to meet his alternate version.
I'm dying for that. I mean, and the
and
question
I kind of
is,
hope he's exactly the same and they just love hanging out together.
because most of these characters have been semi-opposite.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he would be semi-opposite, or if it would be he's just the same in every universe. He's just the same guy. Yeah. It'd be kind of amazing. We might find out. We might find out in the next couple of weeks. So next week we'll be back again for the next episode of Peacemaker. And until then, here's what I hope for you. May you be healthy, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you be well, but most of all, may you remain a true believer.